Some finals thoughts from Bob and Winthrop. Hey, Bob.
Good morning, fellas. How are you?
Good.
Morning.
All righty. I think to Marc's point about Porzingis, obviously it would be great to have him, even if he gives you 24 minutes. And the way this series is stretched out, maybe even hold him out the first 2 games and he comes back game 3, which is not till next Wednesday. But to Marc, your point is that the Celtics this year in the regular season and playoffs, 31-5 without Porzingis. Now, I know those are kind of skewed, those numbers, because, the may have been a game against the Washington Wizards or whoever. So obviously it'd be great to have him. But I think they could still win this thing without him. And in some sense, if they win it without him, it may be stronger for their, I wouldn't say legacy, but, they could prove a point and say, look, we won it without our third best player for most of the playoffs when everybody was on them about beating Miami without Butler and Cleveland without Mitchell and missing Halliburton for the last 2 games against Indiana. Maybe the Celtics could look at it and say, we're the best team and we didn't even have our third best player.
And it would be a credit to Tatum and Brown.
Yeah. You always want to win at full strength, but to make those guys elevate, would...
I like his positive spin on this.
No,
McKone.
there's no positive spin. No,
sure
play
there is.
Porzingis.
Oh, no, I don't agree with that part. He's saying that if Porzingis can't give you what you want,
right.
Can't play a lot of minutes. He's not healthy, can't go, and they still win. They'll look better because of it.
No one's going to care how it looks. Nobody's going to look back, and a championship is a championship.
Disagree. I don't think I'm worried about Tatum not getting the full credit if they win this.
It's already happening now. Like, they're there and he's not getting the
People
credit.
will work incredibly hard to discredit Jayson Tatum. I have learned this over the last several years. That is what they do. They work hard to tell you why he's not good, why he's not a top 5 player, why he'll never win as the team's best player. They do it over and over and over again, and I do not expect it to change even when he has a championship.
Do you think they'll move the goalposts again?
They're going to move them again on this guy.
Especially if Brown
outplays we had an easy path. Yeah. If they beat the bag out of the Mavs, it's going to be, see, the Mavs weren't even that good. Well, and they quit. They laid down for Tatum. That's how he got his ring. You wait. Just wait for it, McKone. I'm prepared for it. I'm prepared. Oh, I so badly need him to have a great series.
You're waiting.
I so badly need it. When you talk about what could this team do if they lose, what are their options if they lose? What should happen if they lose?
People are going to be pissed when he gets his money.
And people say, do you blow it up? Do you tweak the roster? Do you fire the coach? Because that's the easiest thing to do. There are all these scenarios. Do you move on from Porzingis? He's expensive. And what if he's not giving you? I think the worst case scenario for the Celtics is they lose this series and Jayson Tatum doesn't have a good series.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's
devastating.
There's no fix for that. You're not moving on from Jayson Tatum.
No, he is the face of your franchise.
There's no fix.
Yeah.
There's nothing you could do to your roster that's going to make him have a better series for you. There just isn't.
It's the pressure. How's he going to feel with the pressure? How's he going to deal with the pressure? That's more the question, I think, here than the team or Joe or the rest of the team or Porzingis. It's about Tatum. It's always about Tatum. And that's how they'll be judged. I mean, look at the way they've been talked about for weeks now. And Brown's got the MVP of the damn finals. I mean, that's not the finals, but Eastern Conference Finals.
I expect Jayson Tatum to look in this series like he did at times in the Indiana series where he was doing everything. He was defending. He was rebounding. He was making incredible passes behind the back to Al Horford in the paint, right? I mean, all of these things that he was doing, and he was scoring. And I'm expecting him to do those things again and still not get the full credit for it, McKone. He's going to have a big game in this series where no one wants to give him his flowers. I'm preemptively complaining about a lack of credit for Jayson Tatum. The guy hasn't done a single damn thing in the finals yet, and I'm already complaining.
Fit right in with the Celtics. This is exactly, though, if you're Tatum, the stage that you want. Like you were bitching earlier in the postseason about the MVP voting and all that stuff. This is the stage right now where you can establish yourself as a legit MVP candidate. If you go in and we have that conversation about top 5 players winning the championship, you go out and have a monster series right now on this stage and outduel Luka on a consistent basis, you are viewed completely different moving forward across the league.
I don't want him to do too much offensively, though, and get out of his game. Does that make sense?
Yes, don't get caught up on Luka versus Tatum.
Yes, don't get caught up on that, and however many points you have in a game, just keep doing what you've been doing, right? Lead in all different areas on the floor for this team.
Leadership.
I don't mean leadership in terms of leadership. I mean leading in terms of assists and rebounds and
Making a smart play.
Being involved.
Making a smart play.
being a great defender. All those things.
Don't you come down and take crazy shot. Go ahead.
Chris and Hartford. Chris.
All right, fellas. So
What?
We're on the eve of the finals. Hey, so slow down already. You know I love you.
I know you got something.
But listen. Yep. So I need to draw the correlation. 1982, May 16th, Game 5, Jabbar against Philly, the Lakers. He twists an ankle. Magic steps in, and he goes ahead, 42 points, 15 rebounds, 7 assists. He had to step in. That was for one game. When we look back, the great, we will call him, and so you will call him, Jayson Christopher Tatum. He will go up into the rafters, and we will go on a run. He is showing improvement. He did it for the whole playoffs, playing a very strong power forward and doing it all. So sometimes when things happen in life that look like it is a negative, it actually turns into a positive. And the great Jayson Christopher Tatum will rise in the next 2 weeks. Have a great finals, fellas. Bye-bye.
Who's getting hurt for him to do that? He's talking about Jabbar twisting an ankle? Magic elevating? Who's getting hurt for him to elevate?
Well, I think he's saying
I know what he's
that
saying.
that was just the ascension.
Yeah.
And this will
A turning
be,
point.
And this will be the ascension of Jason. Is his middle name Christopher? Do we know
That's
that?
gotta
Confirm?
be. Sounds
Confirm.
good.
I mean, I just want to make sure
Goes
you had
well.
it right.
Goes well.
It sounded right. Yeah.
It sounded strong.
What's your middle name? McKone?
It is. It is Christopher. Jayson Christopher Tatum.
What's yours, McKone?
William.
Put the zero up in the rafters is what Chris in Hartford is saying. If you like that clip, check out more videos from Zolak and Bertrand here. For more Celtics analysis and opinion, hit this playlist. And for all the latest from the Sports Hub, download the app at 985thesportshub.com.